Good morning, guys and gals, or good afternoon by now as I make this. This is your host, Joe, Life with Joseph. And I went for a little car ride this morning on the 26th of June of 2024. We're going to call this Summer 24 Extravaganza number 8, I think. I'm getting on the California 58 eastbound. I'm going to mention here that there was talk of extending Interstate 40, which ends in Barstow, onto California 58 all the way to Interstate 5. And out here, there's been a freeway, expressway type extension on 58 east of 99 that opened up earlier this year that will probably take tomorrow. But this has never been an idea of extending Interstate 40, and I like highway stuff like this, and I've been reading about this off and on for a while, so I wanted to mention it here. Anyway, we're gonna cruise on up to Keene, and you'll see it next. Good morning, guys and gals. Our first stop of the day will be in Keene, and I've stopped here before. Now, I like the stop sign here, stop being mean, you know. The second most important teaching of Christ is love your neighbor as yourself. Wish more of them would try that once in a while. Anyway, I am at the Cesar Chavez National Monument. I've said before that Cesar Chavez is one of my personal heroes for helping to found the United Farm Workers. Now I'm going to point out again for the 100th time the original pour concrete right here. This is old California 58, old US 466. Oh, hold on here, the sun, hold on. But that's, I want to point out here, got to get away from the truck, I left it on. I want to point out here that I have to apologize to Dolores Huerta, who is also one of my personal heroes, who's also one of the founders of the United Farm Workers. I, for some incredibly god-awfully stupid reason, called her Dorothy on more than one of my clips. And it's embarrassing to admit that I didn't really realize the first name of one of my personal heroes. So, Miss Huerta, I humbly apologize for my stupidity. And you are one of my personal heroes. So we're going to stop in town and eat at the Keene Cafe. I'll talk about that in about 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, and we'll see what's next. As you can see, I went ahead and drove up to the facilities. They got a nice little picnic area here. No whole hell of a lot of shade. It's already 80 degrees. It's about 8:30 in the morning or so. So here I am in front of the sign. I don't think the visitor center is quite open yet. And bluntly, I'm already running out of steam and I need to eat. But we're going to walk through the outside here real fast. One of the greatest of all Americans. To the left is Helen Chavez, Cesar's wife. She also was an integral part of all of this. And the next shot down here, I'm in the Garden of Values. Here is Cesar with his 2 German shepherds, Boycott and Huelga. And I'll have to look up what Huelga means, I'm not sure. And they're buried near him as well. They were his guard dogs and his protectors. Here's a little bit more of the garden and the nice fountain here. I didn't know all this was up here. I'm ignorant. Here are the grave sites of Cesar and Helen Chavez. Cesar died in 1993. I remember it, actually. And the march from Keene to Sacramento, it seems here to me. And the quote in the back in the granite is, "It is my deepest belief that only by giving our lives do we find life." Love your neighbor as yourself. What you do to the least of you, you do to me, meaning Jesus. Y'all ought to be paying attention to some of this. So we're done here. I'm hungry and I'm fading, so we're gonna head down to the cafe and we'll see what's next. I want to point out right here on the right this little Quonset hut that's had a little bit of work done to it. I'm exiting the Cesar Chavez National Park Service property, and I'm heading to the Keene Cafe. I want to thank the two NPS people, the guy and the gal who wanted to pet Dude, and they gave him some love, and Dude let them pet him. So thank you, guy and gal of the National Park Service. You represent well, and I appreciate you showing Dude some love. Our next stop of the day finds us at the Keene Cafe in Keene, Kern County, California. This used to be on the old highway. It used to be California 58 right here, and it used to be US 466 way back in the day. As I should just move here. The Chavez stuff is up the street here, about half a mile maybe, and we're gonna go in and eat. Now I'm gonna point out that Dude, I did this at Emma Jean's too, I forgot to say it. Dude is in the locomotive, but with the locomotive I could have the truck idling with the air conditioning on, and because I have the RFID fob away far enough, you can't steal, or you can't drive off in it. So I'll talk more about the RFID deal probably tomorrow or Friday. But I'm going to go in the cafe here, and we'll see what's next. Look at him. Got my coffee. I've noticed they don't have cream, but they have like the cream substitute, International Delight stuff. So, okay, but the coffee's good. Let's talk about the restaurant here. It was established in the 1920s. It was converted to I got the wrong seat. I got the sun right in back of me. I wasn't paying enough attention. It was converted into a boarding house in the 30s for some of the local miners. In 1940, Ethel Stuck began to operate the cafe as a cafe and returned it to a roadside cafe. When World War II broke out, soldiers were stationed out here guarding the railroad tunnels and bridges from sabotage, and so they ate here often. Also during that time, Ethel started to plant wildflowers out here. She had 282 different varieties of wildflowers out here, and many people out here in Kern County credit Ethel for the subsequent wildflower show that shows up in the spring all through Kern country, they call it. Ethel operated the cafe until 1954. Others have continued. I think now it's Charlie Lund, continued to serve good food. 80 years ago, historic Keene Cafe, founded in 1920, started the cafe in 1940. We're here, and we'll see when the food comes. I definitely sat in the wrong chair for filming, but here's my breakfast: chicken fried steak with some gravy, hash browns, scrambled eggs, English muffin. It looks really good. Got a little fly there. I noticed on a lot of the restaurant, Vegas guys especially, they show themselves eating. Well, I'm going to spare you that, but I'll give you a report on the food here in a second. These local guys here were very kind, and we spoke for a little bit during and after my food. Here's the inside of the cafe, so you can see it, and of course, my love affair with the sun. Well, here's my close from the Keene Cafe in Keene, Kern County, California. I thought the food was good. The muffin was a little stale, but I got good service. The whole table full of locals did talk to me, which I thanked them for. They asked about the camera. They asked where I was from and where I was going. You know, I get long-winded about some of this stuff that I like talking about. Food good. The English muffin was a touch stale. I think in a place like this, when you don't get white or wheat, you know, they probably don't go through as much of it, but I would absolutely stop here again. So probably 9-10 for the Keene Cafe. Get white or wheat bread and you'll toast and you'll have 10-10. So if you're watching the restaurant review, this is going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching another Joe's Restaurant Review. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. We'll see you for the next one. If you're watching on my main channel, Life with Yosef, then we're going to see what's next. Our next stop of the day finds us in the town of Caliente in Kern County, California. And no, this is not on the old highway. This is on the old road to Havilah and Isabella and Kernville. Hey, there's a marker here. Hold on. Oh, hell, I didn't know that there was a little plaque here from the last time I was here in October. So as I pan the post office, which is still open, I think, and the building in the back used to be a restaurant. I don't think they're open anymore. Damn, dude, the ground's soft. Caliente was formerly Allen's Camp, was renamed once the Southern Pacific established its construction headquarters here in 1875 while track was laid over the Tehachapi Pass. It was a freighting center for Havilah, and Havilah was the first county seat of Kern County and other mining towns, as well as a shipping point for cattle from Walker's Basin, which is now I think called the Walker Valley. Now this road here, the old road that is not Old 58/466, goes to Havilah and to Isabella. It is a nice drive. I've taken it before. I'm not going to take it today because I'm already running out of steam. It's hardly 10 o'clock. I've got a long day tomorrow. Friday, I'm going to be busy running some errands back by the hideout. Saturday, I'm going to rest. Sunday, I'm driving to Red Bluff, and so I've got some pretty busy days here. I need to build in some rest, so I'm not going to make it a long day today, but I am going to kind of sort and get out and about just a touch. I wanted to drive through where the houses were on the other side of the tracks, and I'll do that now, and then I'm going to start heading on. Noting the school zone sign, speed limit 25, but I didn't see the school anywhere, so beats the hell out of me. I sped this up 3 times speed. You can see some of the abandoned structures here on the right. There are people who still live here, and there is a little bit more housing if I had to turn right down one of the driveways. But I want to respect private property, and you see what the gist is here, and we'll see what's next. Our next stop really fast here is on the side of Caliente Bodfish Road. And when I talked in Keene at the cafe about the railroad tunnels, this is one of them. Now, I can't quite make out the year over the top of the tunnel mouth, but this is what I'm talking about. I didn't realize these were here. I looked on Google Earth last night and saw this and thought, well, hell, I need to come out and film this. So here is the rest of the road we're on, and we're pressing on to see what's next. Our next stop of the day finds us at the corner of Keene and Caliente Bodfish in Kern County. Looks like the road is closed to the west, so I'm going to have to get back on the Freeway 58 here, which was not my plan. My plan was to take Keene all the way to, which turns into Edison, and then I was going to jump on the freeway probably later. But here we are. I filmed here more than once. A couple of times, I'll see if I can find it. There is nobody out here. I'm standing kind of sort of in the street, and all of a sudden, by God, there's one goddamn guy driving by honking at me. I'll see if I can find it and give you some bonus footage. So me and the boy are out and about, and we'll see what's next. Our first stop of the day on February 27th at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon is on Keene Road at Cal Bodfish Road. This is the old Highway US 466 back in the day. Now it's on California 58, which we'll see in a second. It's a beautiful day, a little cloud. Gonna rain ass tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. But today it rained just a little bit. Now it's all clear and temperate. Nice he didn't hit me. So we'll see what's next. I'm just now noticing the a reflection on the of the stuffies, my wife's stuffies on the dash, and my God, this road footage is awful. I'm showing here Caltrans striping the highway, and my God, it looks awful. So I'm not going to use a whole lot of this, but we'll press on and see what's next. Our next stop of the day, and I found this just by happenstance last night, looking on Google Maps, and I talked about this, but I'll come back to it. I am at the historic Sunset or Weed Patch government camp, and in 1937, over 300 families lived here in tents and tin shacks as they fled the Dust Bowl and came to California, hopefully for a brighter future for them and their children. And for a lot of us, a lot of our families that could trace their family coming to California and from the Dust Bowl in the 30s, this is how your ancestors lived until they were able to have a better economic times. And for some of the farm working families, they're not living much better today. So I'm going to tell you, again, the UFW helps fight some of this poverty amongst the farm workers. And those of you who hate immigrants and hate these people, well, let me ask you a question. Who's going to pick your crops? Who's going to work in your restaurants? Who's going to babysit your children? Who's going to wipe grandma's butt? You go to the movie A Day in the Life Without a Mexican, or paraphrased, and, you know, does something need to be done? Yes, but, you know, I've said this on this clip. Love your neighbor as yourself. What you do to the least of you, you do to me. Remember that, because I'm going to drive that shit home. So this is a historic spot that I just stumbled on. I should probably be using the Internet Marker Database more, imdb.org. I have it downloaded, it's ready to go. But anyway, we're kind of pressing on, and we'll see what's next. Our next stop of the day finds us at the intersection of California 166 and California 99 in Kern County, California. Now I'm out here, this is in Mettler, and I'm down here for two reasons. One of which is, it seems here to me that I have a couple of old stills of this very intersection. And I've talked about the number of historical society pages that I subscribe to. I download the pictures because I think, you know, one day I may be out that way, and it'll come in handy for my content. Now, the second reason I'm down here is the Hard Rock is in partnership with one of the sovereign tribes down here. They're going to build a Hard Rock, and it's in Mettler, but it's not right here. So I looked it up, and it's more south. 99 goes into 5. There's a big bunch of development right there by the scales. So that's where we're going to go next. I'm going to see if I can find it. Just because. So we'll see what's next. I looked up roughly the street is Sabadon Road that the Hard Rock is going to be built on, and it looks like it's here because my map shows this right in front of me is Sabadon Road. You see the concrete, there's a new bridge, and you see some construction. So because there's nothing else out here and the street's blocked off, I'm going to extrapolate that this is where the Hard Rock is on sovereign tribal land. Anyway, this is right at the Interstate 5 California 99 split. There's a lot of development out here. I'll make sure hopefully to clip it in or clip it on the way out. Lot of logistics, restaurants, couple of motels. It's a big deal out here. Boy, there used to be nothing out here but a little bit right at Grapevine. So here's our 360. I think we're pretty much done with our day, but we'll see what's next. I sped this up 3 times so you could see just how much development and logistics is out here in Fort Tejon between the I-5 California 99 split and the beginning of the Grapevine. So we're going to close here. This is, as always, your host, Joe. Life with Yosef. Summer 24 Extravaganza, I think number 8. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Peace be with you. And there's about another 10 seconds here, so we'll see you for the next one. Little bit of silence here. Hell, you know me. I like to ramble. We'll see you for the next one.